crowd puller, hitmaker, controversial, national hero. This is the sad life story of Souljah. Souljah was undoubtedly one of the greatest urban musicians in Zimbabwe. He achieved massive success in the music industry, but however his life seemed to be filled with misfortunes, and to better understand this, we have to go back in time. November 22, 1989, Harare. Twin brothers Saul and John Musaka are born to their mother Sitembani, who would not live long enough to see her sons surpass the toddler stage. The world had revealed its darker side to Souljah at a very young age. Upon the death of their mother, the twin brothers would stay with their grandmother, who raised them for a couple of years, and she died as well when he was around the age of 8. After the death of their grandmother, the brothers moved to Waterfalls to live with their father, who was a businessman. Their father would provide them with a decent upbringing, and they attended good schools. The two brothers were creatively talented. John was good at drawing and Saul was gifted musically. The two boys had a strong bond and always had each other's back. However, this bond would be cut short when John had an asthmatic attack and died at the age of 13. This would break Saul's heart. He had lost the person he was very close to. At that very same time, Saul was diagnosed with diabetes. Losing loved ones at a very young age, and on top of that, to be diagnosed with diabetes, was just too much for a 13-year-old. Saul's teenage years would be different from what he used to be as young boy. He lost interest in his academics, began smoking, and hung around the wrong people. His mischievousness ruined his relationship with his stepmother, and she kicked him out of the house when his father died. At this point, music became his only hope. He would spend most of his time in music studios in the ghetto recording and freestyling, which he really loved doing. In 2010, Souljah would drop his hit single John Terry, which became a hit, and many people began to notice the upcoming chanter's potential. Souljah would continue dropping hit after hit, and he quickly became a force to reckon with in the Zimbabwean music scene, and his life would not be the same again. He became one of the most booked artists in the country. He also began performing beyond the borders in South Africa and the UK. He was receiving accolades from all the prestigious award ceremonies in the country. The money was coming in. He was driving nice cars, and he had found love to fellow Zim dancehall chanter Bounty Lisa. However, behind all this glitz and glamour, the chanter was slowly jeopardizing his career with his addiction to drugs. And the dark cloud would continue to follow him even at the peak of his career. August 18, 2016, Souljah is involved in a car accident in Gweru while traveling to Victoria Falls with his band, and he seriously got injured. The singer would go on to perform while sitting on a wheelchair. Though the chanter was fortunate not to have lost his life, he would go on to lose the love of his life, Bounty Lisa, who split up with Souljah, and she alleged that the relationship had become toxic and abusive. At this point, Souljah's career was in jeopardy. The artist would fail to turn up for shows, and sometimes he would be just too intoxicated to perform. Souljah would publicly state that he was followed by evil spirits and bad luck. He even went to Prophet Magaya's PhD Ministries twice in 2016, when he was involved in an accident, and in 2020, to seek deliverance from drug abuse. Even after all the deliverance attempts, the superstar was struggling to change his ways, and he kept going back to his old ways. His addiction got worse, and it seems like the musician was surrounded by people who did not care about his well-being, but would rather exploit him for their own personal benefits.
How can I cross the river Jordan without a bottle of Bronx, Mari? How can I work the wax without Capis Mari?
It was quite evident that the musician needed help. His drug problem was worsening. His health was deteriorating right in front of our eyes. He needed to check into a rehab center and stop him from going back to the ghetto to hang around the bad influences. There were people around Suljilov who had the means to facilitate that for him, but would rather exploit his talent while turning a blind eye to his well-being. February 16, 2021.
Wadi wokoso.
Darwara mkom.
One ifuti.
Darwara ya muru. Herega ndisiruzi. Isauli ya corona kanga upakadzoka nepandi ukaunzika kupera. Ya mutumbu yangu yanobweta iye ndarwana chiurutsa.
Hey. Rujeni. Right.
After this call for help, his friends rushed him to the hospital, but unfortunately, Suljilov was pronounced dead upon arrival at the hospital. According to a doctor's report, he had no pulse upon admission and his sugar level was high.
Hakusina chibaba. Namo, penyu. Chibaba fira pambuya dokas. Hakusina.
It is also said that the chanter had foreseen his death. He knew he was about to depart, and this could be felt in some of the music he made before he died.
So danza mkuba na ngoti mbo nika manisha mwanzao. Atikuinda. Danza darutanda. Daga atikuinda danza nantori popo ma repapo. Daga tamba na mpenge ndo nyazi wangati uri nzoto.